Hello everyone, how are you all? Okay, so let's start our next lesson, that is lesson number 11, transportation in plants and animals. So in this session I have not given aim and the keywords. Now what you have to do, you have to find out the aim. Okay, I will tell you in short. Okay, I will give you hint. Based on that you have to write the aim. Keywords are already given in your textbook. Check textbook page number 130. Correct? Yes, 130 textbook page number. Keywords are given. So according to your session, write down the keywords from that given words. Okay? Any doubt about the aim and the keywords? Okay. So in first session, we are going to learn about transportation system. Okay, the introduction part and the organs that involve in the transportation system. So that organs we are going to learn. Okay, so according to that, write down your aim and the keywords. So let's start our first session. We know that the all living things are made up of cells, correct? Some are made up of single cell, which are known as, what is that? Yes, unicellular. And if the organisms are made up of millions of cells or the more number of cells, so that are known as multicellular. The unicellular organism like amoeba, paramecium and bacteria, they do not have any specialized organs to perform various functions like the intake of food, water, oxygen, and the removal of waste material occur across the cell surface in the unicellular organism. But in case of multicellular, okay, plants and animals are multicellular organisms. Means what? That is made up of millions of cells. So their life processes are complex. We have learned that there are many life processes takes place in our body, in plants, in animals, like your excretion, then your respiration, then reproduction. Many life processes are there, and these life processes are very complex. Okay, it is not easy. They are not easy to carry out. They have specific organs to perform specific functions. Okay, in excretion, maybe in lower classes you have learned about the excretory system, then your digestion, that is digestive system, then respiration, respiratory system. Now this is transportation, that is related to the circulatory system. So there are different systems and different organs, okay, the specialized organs that performing specific functions. To perform these functions, every cell in the plant and in animal, means animal body, required useful substances. If you want to do any work, we need something, we need our food. Same happening with our body. Okay, the body performing so many functions, so that body is made up of cells. So cells required useful substances like your nutrients, then oxygen and water. Plants and animals have a transport system to carry useful substances to every cell of the body. Means we are having organs that help cells to take that nutrients and oxygen, and that is the transportation system. Not only we are carrying the useful substance, but the organs are important for removal of waste material produced by the body, and that's why there is a transportation system. Understood the introduction part? See, I have given one slide why plants and animals need a transportation system. So we know that all living organisms like plants and animals need food, oxygen and water so that they can survive. Okay, so we are depend on these things, that food, oxygen and water. So these elements need to be delivered to their body parts so that they can function properly, and hence all living organisms need a transport system in their bodies. Understood why the transportation system is important? To carry out the function, each and every cell required nutrients, food, oxygen and water. And that's why the transportation system is important. Understood? Now this transportation system, in that we are going to learn about the human circulatory system. Okay, the circulatory system which transport useful substances from the digested food and oxygen from the lungs to every part of the body. In digestion we have learned that from the food we are getting the energy, as that energy or the nutrients are dissolving or mixed in the blood, correct? So that's why the circulatory system is important. It also collects the carbon dioxide and other waste material from the entire body. So to carry out all these tasks, the blood has to circulate in the body all the time. Okay, the blood is important because blood is providing energy to every part of your body, and that's why the blood should be circulate. Blood has to circulate in our body every time, means each and every second. And the process of pumping blood constantly by the heart through the blood vessels to various parts of the body and again back to the heart is known as a circulation. Means in a simple word you can say that the transport of blood throughout the body is known as a circulation. Understood what is the circulation? Understood? Yes. So in the circulatory system, the blood delivers food and oxygen to every cell in the body. Same, it carries the waste away from every cell in the body. So this human circulatory system is made up of blood, blood vessels and your heart. Okay, so you can see here human circulatory system: heart, vein and artery, which are known as blood vessels, and your blood. Understood? So your circulatory system is made up of three organs: blood, blood vessels and heart. So one by one, first we will learn about these organs, and then we will learn how there is a circulation in human body. Okay, understood? So see, the circulatory system is a transport system of the human body which consists of a network that supplies food, water, oxygen and other substances throughout the body. So it is the function of circulatory system that provide or supply food, water, oxygen and other substances in the body. So main parts of your circulatory systems are given, that are blood, blood vessels and heart. Okay, so let's start with blood. So blood is a specialized fluid that flows in blood vessels. Okay, what are the blood vessels we will see, but what is the blood? So blood is a fluid that flows in your body. And what are the functions of that blood? The blood transport digested food from the small intestine to all parts of the body, that we have seen in digestive system. Then the blood transport oxygen from the lungs to the body cells and carbon dioxide from the cells to the lungs. So always that transportation happens because of the blood. Again, the blood transport the liquid waste from the body cells to the kidneys for removal from the body. Okay, so it is your blood, okay, red color fluid that flows throughout the body by blood vessels. So see the functions of blood I have given. The blood act as the medium of transportation. Whatever transportation is happening in our body, that is because of the blood. Understood? And of which transportation? Of oxygen and nutrients. Understood? The blood carries oxygen from the lungs, transported to the other cells of the body. then carries waste material, then nutrients are provided, that is also because of the blood. Then one another function of the blood is that blood protects the body from losing blood by forming a blood clot. So that clotting, maybe you have experienced that when there is any injury or wound, the blood is coming out from our body, but after some time blood will stop automatically to come out. So that process is known as blood clotting. Okay, understood? If continuously the blood will go from our body, so that will very dangerous to us, and that's why the blood clotting is important. And one another important function of the blood is that our blood helps in regulating the temperature of the body. Understood? Our body temperature is balanced by the blood. So these all are the functions of the blood. So please take the screenshot of this slide and write down the functions of the blood in your notebook in your own words. Understood? Understood about the blood, what is the blood and what are the functions of blood? So in an average healthy adult, the volume of blood is about 1/11th of the body weight. Means normally you can say that the volume of blood in an average human is between 4 to 5 liters. Okay, so in our body 4 to 5 liters of blood is present. But blood means what? See, if you want to do something like maybe you have learned in 6th standard, the ingredients are there, we are mixing the ingredients and making the food atom. Something like that, some things are present in the blood, that is the components of blood. Means things that present in the blood, that are the components of blood. Am I going fast? See, the small notes are there, small points are there, so please listen carefully. Okay, in this session we are going to learn only about the blood and blood vessels. In the blood we are going to learn about the functions of the blood and the components of the blood. Same with blood vessels. What are the blood vessels, the difference and the functions. Only that much we are going to learn in this session. So see the components of the blood. Blood can perform several functions as we have discussed because of different substances present in it. Okay, means the substances which are present in the blood that helps blood to do that function. So what are that components? So you can see here the blood is made up of red blood cells, that is your RBC, white blood cells, that is your WBC, plasma and platelets. So these four are the components of the blood which are doing different functions. Okay, so one by one we will learn about the components of the blood. First one, that is blood plasma. So plasma is the liquid part of the blood. Okay, as we have discussed that the blood is a fluid that flowing throughout the body. That flow is because of the blood plasma. Okay, the liquid part of the blood, it is your plasma, which is yellowish in color and contains about 90% of water. You know na, your blood is made up of water and these things. Understood? Because the plasma contains 90% of water, it has food, waste and enzymes dissolved in it. Okay, because of that liquid state, it can dissolve many things. Understood? So in blood 55% of plasma is present. How many? In blood, I am saying. In blood 55% of blood plasma is present. Okay, the plasma facilitates the transportation of different substances throughout the body. Understood? The blood consists of fluid which is known as plasma, in which three types of blood cells float. Means your RBC, your WBC and your platelets are flowing in the blood plasma. Understood? So your blood plasma is made up of water, salt, fats, proteins and sugar. Understood about the blood plasma? The liquid substance present in the blood. Almost 55% of blood is a blood plasma, and which is made up of water, salt, fats, proteins and sugar. Understood? Yes. Next one, that is red blood cells, which are also known as erythrocytes. Okay. So remember that word also. Okay. Not only RBC or red blood cells. Okay. Higher classes you should use this word also. Okay. Erythrocytes. So they are present in ample amount in the blood, that is 40 to 45%. Okay, out of 100%, the red blood cells are about 40 to 45%, and that's why your blood is in red color. Okay, the pigments are present in your red blood cells, which are known as hemoglobin. Have you heard the word HB? Maybe in 5th standard the HB count is there. Okay, when blood report, if you want to see about the HB and all, if you have a blood report, check your blood report. In the blood report your HB count is given, that is hemoglobin count, and it should be between the 12 and 16. Means if your HB is less than 11 or 12, so that is a abnormal condition. Okay, so your red blood cells contains hemoglobin, and because of the hemoglobin that pigments, your blood is in red color. Understood? And what are the function of that red color? The oxygen we take inside binds itself with the hemoglobin, hence reaches every cell of the body through the blood. Means your oxygen is binds with the hemoglobin and then it reaches to the every cell of the body through the blood. Understood about the RBC, red blood cells or erythrocyte? 40 to 45% contains hemoglobin, which are in red color, and that's why the cells are known as red blood cells, and that's why your blood is in red color. Understood? Yes. Next one is white blood cells, which are known as leukocytes. Almost 1% of white blood cells that present in your blood. Okay, 1% of white blood cells. Still, these cells are important as they fight against the germs that present in the body. Maybe you have heard that sometimes your WBC number is increases, then your RBC number it decreases. So that is not a good sign. Okay, so white blood cells almost 1% in our body. Still, it is important as they fight against the germs. Okay, the main job is to fight against diseases by destroying the harmful bacteria and other foreign materials. Okay, so these white blood cells are able to move on their own. This helps them to pass through the walls of the blood vessels and to reach the infected parts of the body. So like that they are fighting against the germs. And the last component of our blood, that is blood platelets. See, blood and blood plasma. In plasma all these cells are flowing. Understood? Yes. So blood platelets are important as there is a formation of blood clots and prevent blood from flowing out of the body due to an injury. Okay, we have learned that the blood clotting. So blood clotting is because of whom? Because of the blood platelets. Okay, the blood platelets are smaller than RBC and they help the blood to clot whenever there is a wound on the body. Means the platelets blocks the flow of the blood and prevents the blood loss. Understood about the blood, the functions of the blood and the components of the blood? Yes. So you can see here RBC, the platelets, the white blood cells and your plasma. You can see here the liquid. From the liquid all these are flowing. Okay, and this liquid is present in the blood vessels. Okay, so let's start about the blood vessels. So tube like structures are known as blood vessels that help in the transportation of blood throughout the body. Okay, your blood is moving throughout the body, but because of whom? Because of the blood vessels. Understood? Understood. And there are two types of blood vessels, that are arteries and veins. Okay, please take a screenshot of this. 1 2 3 4 5. Again take the screenshot of this slide also. 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so let's start with our blood vessels. Two types of blood vessels are there, arteries and veins. Okay, capillaries are also there, that we will learn, but the main two types are this, that arteries and veins. So what are the arteries? Arteries carry blood away from the heart. Okay, as the heart pumps the blood into the arteries, the blood flows rapidly and at a high pressure, and that's why the arteries are having a thick elastic wall. Okay, to feel the blood rushing through the arteries, please place two fingers in the hollow spot on the wrist. Then the throbbing sensation or the pulse that you can feel is actually the blood rushing through the arteries. Means you can feel the arteries, you can feel the pulse rate. So arteries means what? The arteries are the tube-like structures which carry the blood from the heart, which contains the oxygen. Understood? And opposite to that, veins are there. They are also carrying the blood, but that blood is rich in carbon dioxide. Okay, so with the help of difference we will learn the arteries and veins. Arteries and veins carry the blood, that is the similarity between the both blood vessels. Both are carrying blood, but one carry the blood that contains oxygen and one carry the blood which contains carbon dioxide. Understood? So these arteries are having thick walls as the blood pressure is quite high in these blood vessels. Opposite to that, the veins do not have thick walls. Okay, the blood pressure is low as compared to the arteries. So that is the another difference. Then arteries are narrow so that they can flow the blood quickly through them, and opposite to that, the veins are wider than the arteries. Okay, the size is more of the veins. These arteries do not contain valves as the blood in arteries always flow in the right direction due to the pumping of the heart. Okay, your right direction and my right direction. Okay, there is a pumping of the heart, and that's why the arteries do not having the valves. Okay, instead of that, the veins are having the valves as there is a blood flow in opposite direction. Understood the difference between the arteries and veins? Both are blood vessels, but the structure and the functions are different of arteries and veins. So in simpler language, you can see here the difference. Artery, it is a thick walled tube present deep under the skin, and vein, it is a thin walled tube. So you can see the difference, thick walled and thin walled tube lying just below the skin. So your arteries are present deep under the skin and your veins are present just below the skin. Artery we cannot be seen easily, but veins we can see. Okay, by hands and legs you can see here the greenish blue lines are there, that are actually your veins. Okay, we can see the veins because the veins are just below the skin, and we cannot see the arteries as they are deep under the skin. Understood? Next, it does not possess valves. Okay, the compartments are not there, but in the veins there are the valves which present or which prevent the backflow of blood. Okay, the compartments are there, and that's why that prevents the backflow of the blood. Then artery carries the oxygenated blood, and vein carries the deoxygenated blood. Means vein carries the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide. Understood? Here in the artery the blood flows at a high pressure, and in the vein the blood flows at a low pressure. Understood? So you can see here the artery and the heart. So from the heart, artery carrying the blood, and to the heart the veins are carrying the blood, and these are the capillaries. Okay, so here we have completed the 2 points, that is the blood and the blood vessels. Then one small point is given in your textbook about the pulse and pulse rate. So as we have discussed about the blood vessels or the pumping of the the pumping of the heart, which important for the flow of the blood. So we know that the heart pumps the blood in the arteries, and that pumping of the blood which is in a rhythmic throbbing, that is known as our pulse. So that pulse we can check, okay, by doing these actions. Okay, you can check the pulse by taking the 2 fingers at your wrist, and then you can count the rhythmic throbbing of your heart. That is actually the heart pumping the blood in the arteries. So that pulse rate means the pulse beats per minute, which is known as your pulse rate. Okay, and that pulse rate of human beings, the normal pulse rate of human beings is 70 to 80 beats per minute. So you can count that. Okay, take the stopwatch and in 1 minute count the pulse rate of your body. Understood? So in first session we have learned about the introductory part of your transportation system and 2 organs, that are blood and blood vessels. About the heart we will see in next session. Now whatever the notes I have given here, write down in your notebook, read that. Okay, still stay home, stay safe, and thank you.